Sit back, relax, put your belt on, and enjoy the show.
The next match, the first of Saturday, is.
Isn't that what we always do?
Yeah, actually, this one doesn't look like it's going to be played on Saturday. Chiefs versus Rebels. It's probably going to be a Sunday match, and there's a good chance it could actually be played in Sydney yet again because of Rebels and everything going on in Melbourne. But you know, there's not necessarily any new injuries, but there's DMAC missing for 3 weeks.
That's a pretty big one. That's kind of a pivotal.
Not if Caleb Trask plays like he did last week.
What's bigger, the Crusaders not having Richie Mo'unga, or the Chiefs missing Damien McKenzie?
I think Chiefs, because he seems to win them all the games. I mean, Mo'unga can do it. Look at the class around him. They're a step up from the guys around.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the opposite. I think that Richie Mo is just so important to the Crusaders machine at the moment. And he is literally destroying teams single-handedly week after week after week. I think whereas, Luke Jacobson, for instance, has been an absolute standout carrying that team through. I think that if Caleb Trask is playing well, I don't think they lose. They'd lose something, don't get me wrong. But Chase Tiatia at 15 and Caleb Trask.
I think the way Nelson and I were thinking about it is if you could pick any team in the competition and just give them a bum 10 and still expect them to absolutely dominate, it would be the Crusaders.
I get it, but I just think that Richie Mo controls more of the game for the Crusaders than Damien McKenzie does at fly half for the Chiefs.
But the difference about that is the Crusaders have so many individual players that can just do a moment of brilliance to win them the game, where the Chiefs have a lot less of that. So you need the Chiefs either DMAC to do something brilliant himself or get the team gelling really well, whereas Crusaders, every single one of them could effectively win the game.
Brad Weber, Nankerville, Leonard Brown, Chase Tiatia.
Brad Weber, Nankerville, Tiatia. You're talking about these guys in the class of Will Jordan, Sevu Reese, Fainga Nuku, like all these guys. Are they anywhere near that?
Anton Leonard Brown, best center in the world.
I can't believe you didn't say David Havili as well. That's the sum up.
David Havili? Like you said, one of them that might be better than the other one in the same position. That's it.
Brad Weber's better than any of them.
Look, Harry, we get your point. You're wrong, but we point received. Look, no one's questioning how good Richie Mo'unga is, but I think the listeners will, and tell us on Twitter. But I think everyone would agree DMAC to the Chiefs is a bigger loss than Richie Mo'unga to the Crusaders. But we'll have to agree to disagree. But let's move on. Apart from that, no injuries that we can really think of. Returning though, Natoya Arkoi for the Chiefs, coming back from a neck injury.
Who's Natoya?
Yep, that's who it is. And should be coming back straight into starting, you'd have to think. And also Jonah Lowe, who Nelson thought did play last weekend, can confirm he didn't. But he should be back from a hamstring. So
convenient as well, because obviously Chase is going to go back to fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
Chase to fullback. Caleb Trask surely to start again. We discussed in the review about how Bryn Gatlin can be more effective when they do have Damien McKenzie at the back, but without Damien McKenzie, you feel like they really need Trask for that attack. The Chiefs are going to need that.
Yeah, I agree. And Natoa Arkoi, you think he's going to come in and we're going to see Josh Lord shift to the bench as well. I think we're still missing Angus Tatavau, so we're not going to see too many other changes in that forward pack is what my assumption is. Harry, you clearly have something you want to discuss here.
I just mentioned on the weekend that I thought there's a bit of Alex Nankerville that I remembered from somewhere. I didn't know where it was from, but it's from Eastbound and Down. Alex Nankerville's got about a bit of Ivan Duchenko, the rival baseball pitcher from Eastbound and Down, and I just love the haircut. And man, there's a lot of similarities there. He's got the attitude as well.
They even look in the same direction.
For those listening to the podcast and not checking it out on YouTube, look, you can check it out on YouTube or just get after it. Harry's put up a photo on Twitter, but look, I have watched Eastbound and Down and absolutely love it, but I think it's a relatively obscure reference, Harry. I'm not sure there's a whole bunch of people that have watched that. If you haven't, it is a fantastic TV show.
If anything, if you've taken anything from this podcast, it's not about rugby. It's go watch Eastbound and Down.
That's it.
Sorry, and our front row last week was...
Don't apologise for me.
was Ross Slater Ta'avao. So
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Tarvao played last week as well.
But Slater won't be starting.
Yeah, Samasoni Takiaho, get him back in there.
Or Nathan Harris.
No, just
Mate, Nathan Houris. Okay, you know what I mean? Mate, he's an old man. Put him out to pasture. He's been injured more times than the entire Chiefs team. Like, what's even left of him, really? You know what I mean? Physio tape. That's all that's left. So, Samasoni Takiaho, please.
Yeah, Akoi and Tupo Vai onto the locks. The back row will probably see Jacobson, Boshier, and Suwakula yet again.
So that means probably Mitch Brown to the bench because I think Mitch Brown started.
Yeah, so I think you are right. Brown, and he can cover both lock and back row, so he's going to be on the bench for sure.
Yep.
They had Lord the week before. Do we think we still see Sullivan on one of the wings? Because
I really liked him. I like him a lot more than Jonah Lowe, to be fair.
I think they'll both play.
They'll both play, yeah.
Chase Tiatia is the other one that. Sorry, not Chase Tiatia.
Stevenson.
Stevenson's an ultimate bench player for everyone.
I agree.
Sean Wainui, I think is close to getting back. They haven't released a lot of information, but he's probably the only one other than Jonah Lowe that could slot in that back three.
Yeah, it's fair. If we have a little look at the Rebels, they had their best game in a few years. Harry, you're just getting it up on here. Is there any changes that we expect to see?
I mean, not really. The only one that we've been saying week after week is Ponifa Amal Sili, who had a 3-week ban, but he's missed 5 weeks now. So I don't know. They haven't mentioned anything about an injury to him, but that's the only thing that explains it to me. I think there's a couple of extra players that were injured that were travelling with the side. I heard, Reece Hodge was there despite not being a real option to play. I'm not sure about Pone. I don't know if he's with the side, but, Kabus Ilof had a cracker game on the weekend, and I think...
despite the yellow card.
And look, I really like Orr. I like Gibbon as well, those props. Gibbon came on and scored a try in that back end of that game. They do have a lot of prop options, but...
They do, but mate, nothing compares to that front row of Kabus Elof, Jordan Ulisi, and Pone Farmer.
That's the biggest in the world.
They're like 6'4" front row, where they're all about 100 whatever kilos. I love that.
Yeah, look, you got Ross Haley and Trevor Hosea played lock last week. I think it'll be more of the same. I think that it sounds like Ross Haley is actually fit now, and they seem to be preferring him rather than playing whichever leftover back rower they have that could be put in there. It's not going to be Rob Leota.
No, I like Rob Leota.
I love Rob Leota.
But I don't like him as a lock. He's not.
I've thought Rob Leota has been one of their absolute finds, and I've liked him for a few years. He's bringing the hardest carries in that team, mate. He's carrying harder than Nazarani has been. To be honest with you,
I think he's quite physical, and I think he's quite a strong guy. But I just don't think he's a lock. I just don't think he's up to it.
I agree. I think he's a back rower.
190 centimeters.
Put it this way: if you had to pick between Ross Halapeti or Steve Cummins or Rob Leota, who are you picking? I'm picking Rob Leota, so I'll tell you that much.
I'd be picking him to play 6.
Yeah, I'm not picking.
No, I'm picking him to play lock ahead of those two. I'll tell you that much.
I'll be picking Steve Cummins at lock, to be honest.
I probably would be. He's tall.
Steve Humans, mate. Okay, who the hell is that? And why?
He's great. He's good.
Can I just say, you mentioned Dissin Asarani hasn't been carrying hard.
Yeah.
I'm all for Pone playing 8 again at the moment. Until he finds his form. I'm okay with that.
Oh, mate, I'd back it. I'd back it straight up. Love
Give him a shot.
He can run there. We've seen him off the drop kicks from the dropouts from the line.
How big would their forward pack be? Do it.
Oh, crazy.
And then get Amosi Takiri and get him in there.
Hey, I'm all for. Let's just do it. Let's do a back row of Nasarani, Pone Farmasili, and Rob Leota. Let's just do it. Let's go all out.
I like it. What, Pony at open side flanker?
No, put him at 8. Nazarani can play open side. There you go.
Okay. Any other changes here? I really quite like what their back line has been, and it's been a lot more gelled with the lineup that we've seen. The one person we were missing is Campbell Magnay in that outside centre jersey. Stacey Illy.
He was a late injection, wasn't he?
He had a concussion.
Yeah, a Campbell Magnay concussion. So we're not too clear on what's going on there, but
that's
what it is. He was a late withdrawal.
No, but I mean,
if it'll be because of concussion,
if it'll be available again, yeah. I guess my question for you guys is this: the two with the Rebels outside backs. First of all, is George worth it? Got it.
He played well. Actually, I genuinely thought he played quite well.
I think
except for that try he let in, 1 or 2 tries he let in. But
one or two of them up.
Man, he's doing his best to be an Aussie.
all right, and my second question, I think I know Nelson's answer to this one, but Lockie Anderson or Andrew Kellaway? For mine, I'm a big fan of Lockie Anderson, really love him, but I'm pretty sure you guys both sit firmly in the Andrew Kellaway camp.
Yeah, mate. One's a Super Rugby player, and the other one's Lockie Anderson.
Yep.
One of them is a Australian rugby representative, Sevens superstar, Lockie Anderson.
Yeah, I'd be picking Andrew Kellaway.
Crickets, mate. Crickets.
What about Kellaway at fullback? Would you be picking Kellaway or George Worth at fullback? I'd rather have Kellaway at fullback personally, but
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I'm not too fast. I probably, after George Worth played well on the weekend, Lockie Anderson, to me, hasn't made a single game where he looked like he had a huge impact.
Mate, he's had huge games. He's scored a whole bunch of their tries.
No, he is not.
You were so biased because you picked him as a back rower in your fantasy footy team. You've got no idea. He sucks.
I can't turn that down. I can't say that doesn't play a role. But
so let's kick on because we've already spent too long speaking about Lockie who.
I concur.
So anyway, I think look, the Rebels just need to keep throwing the ball around here. They need to work out how to attack and defend in one game. To be honest, that's the one thing they haven't been able to do yet.
That's a good summary. Yeah.
Because they can't. They can do one or the other. And if they can do that, they're a shot. But let's be honest, it's going to be a very tough ask to go over to NZ and then beat the Chiefs at home, who will be reeling after the Reds game. And not only that, will be a little bit of an high after their drubbing they gave the Reds in the second half.
As I just said, this game could be played in Sydney.
Could be.
So that's a positive if that happens. But
they have extended the lockdown for the record in Melbourne for an extra week. So I don't know if that changes the lockdown period.
Yeah, they've been talking about it. That the game,
Chiefs home game in Leichhardt again.
At best, if the travel ban gets opened up into New Zealand from those players from the Rebels, I think they would have to fly over on Saturday and play on Sunday. And the Chiefs have relocated to Sydney as well, which is where the Melbourne Rebels are, just in case. So they either both fly across to New Zealand on Saturday and play Sunday, or they stay in Sydney.
If they're both here, it sounds like they're playing in Sydney. You know what I mean?
They're giving themselves the best chance.
Right. Okay.
What they're doing. So it's going to be potentially a last minute decision. But
I mean, who's paying for all these flights? You know what I mean? Just if they're both here, played in Sydney. It's like
with things deteriorating in Melbourne, I on my money's on that we're going to see this game in Sydney.
Yeah, because the issue is obviously just going to be the people from Melbourne getting into New Zealand.
Yeah, that's the
anyway.
issue.
Look, regardless of where it's played, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I'm going to tip the Chiefs by 20 points.
Cargie.
Okay. Chiefs by
no DMAC. Don't forget no DMAC.
Oh, I was just about to shoot well over you, but I'll bring it in a bit. Chiefs by 25.
What did you say?
20.
Oh. I'm going to be optimistic, and I don't know why.
Nelson, you always are. You are the most optimistic.
I'm going to say Chiefs by 18.
I like it.